What's up, guys? This is Kephas.
Recently, I started leveling a whole new batch of alts on a brand new server in World of Warcraft. I do this about once a year. Don't ask me why, it's like some cosmic ritual I'm powerless to resist. Please send help. But in doing it this time around, I came to a realization. World of Warcraft has a leveling problem. Now, before you clutch your heirlooms and sharpen your transmog weapons, hear me out. I've been playing WoW for years, and while I can't fully speak to the new player experience, I can't imagine it's the most coherent introduction to Azeroth. Right now, new players are pushed into Dragonflight and then the War Within, and that's fine, sure, at least they're caught up on recent events, but WoW is a game with over 2 decades of content. We're talking hundreds of zones, countless quests and storylines that span entire planetary systems. In the past, you leveled expansion by expansion, Vanilla, then Outland, then Northrend, and so on. It was long, but it kind of made sense. You watched the world evolve. This is kind of what Final Fantasy XIV does, and it works beautifully there because it's one long, cohesive narrative where your character is always the center of the story. World of Warcraft, however, is built differently. It's not one big epic, it's a patchwork quilt of arcs, events, and wars happening across time and space. You're not the chosen one. You're just one badass adventure trying to make a difference, until the game decides you are the chosen one, then back to being a soldier, then a champion, then a demigod, and then an errand boy again. But how does a game with this much story, content, and chaos handle leveling in 2025? 2 words: Chromie Time. Now, on paper, Chromie Time sounds like a dream. You pick which expansion you want to level in, and everything scales to your level. It's modular, it's flexible, and it's perfect for alts. Initially, it feels freeing, but over time, it starts to feel like a trap. You're sort of locked into a specific expansion. Dungeon queues are limited to that expansion unless you wait long enough to expand your options. Certain zones like Drusvar or Vashir are inexplicably locked behind arbitrary level gates. It's freedom with handcuffs. I find myself wondering if Chromie Time is even necessary anymore. Why can't we go wherever we want to go at any level and just cut out the middleman? At max level, you can just grab intro quests to any expansion. Why not let us do that at level 10? Why the extra step of talking to Chromie and committing to a single expansion? Wouldn't it be better to just let players go wherever they want, when they want, and scale the world accordingly? Scrap the Chromie Time system entirely and let the world breathe. And don't get me started on dungeon queues. Instead of locking them by expansion, give players a queue filter. Want only Wrath dungeons? Great. Want to avoid Shadowlands like the plague? I don't blame you. Want them all? Of course, have at it. Theoretically, this would make dungeon queues faster while also giving players more dungeon variety. So that's one part of the problem. The other is this: even if you fix the structure, leveling in WoW still feels empty. It's fast. You could argue it's a bit too fast. You zip through leveling while barely finishing a single story thread. You barely get acquainted with your class before you're at cap, and frankly, you're probably going to respec your talents anyway. And many classes feel kind of boring until the later levels. It's like ordering an appetizer and getting the entree after dessert. And that kind of brings us to the bigger question: what's the point of leveling at all? If the only reason is, well, we need something to do before endgame, then why not just start at endgame? Why not let players begin at max level and skip the foreplay entirely? But I think a lot of us want leveling to matter. We want it to feel rewarding, not just a hurdle to jump over, but a journey worth taking. Now let's take a step back and look at Classic WoW. In Original Classic, the leveling was the game. It was slow, yes, sometimes painfully slow, but it had weight. Every level earned felt like a small triumph. You learned your class piece by piece. You got attached to your gear, your quests, even the weird glitchy terrain bugs. It was about the journey, not the destination. And then we have Season of Discovery, which kind of flipped the formula a bit for classic WoW. Leveling was sped up tremendously for sure, but instead of removing this sense of reward, it introduced a whole new layer of discovery. Runes were scattered across the world, each one giving you a powerful new spell or ability. You were building your character not just through XP bars, but through exploration and experimentation. Suddenly, leveling felt fun again, but in a new way. Not because it was slower, but because it was meaningful. Retail could learn from that. They don't have to slow leveling down like classic WoW or add in new spells through exploration like Season of Discovery, but imagine if each zone you completed rewarded you with something tangible, a mount, a unique transmog, maybe a toy or a title. Make zone completion an actual goal, not just a means to an end. Reward the journey. Also, give old factions the new faction treatment by making reputation account wide and adding in the renown system for all of them. Add new incentives to revisit old expansions. Tie it all together in a system that encourages exploration, not just efficiency. And if you really want to go wild, build a system that allows players to customize their leveling experience. Let them choose what kind of rewards they're after: gold, gear, cosmetics, achievements. Let them pick their path, not just their destination. Because right now, leveling in WoW feels like a filler episode, a bottle quest, a previously on montage, but it doesn't have to. Let players roam, let them build their own story, give them reasons to care about every corner of Azeroth, not just the latest patch. Leveling doesn't have to be a problem, but right now it kind of is. Fix it or phase it out, because as it stands, we deserve more than just a fast track to max level. We deserve a reason to enjoy the ride. So what do you think? You think leveling should be more rewarding, scrapped entirely, or just be left as is? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. With all that being said, I'll see you guys on the next one.
Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know by clicking that like button. And feel free to share it with your friends so they can enjoy it as well. And if you'd like to see more videos, you can subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to be notified as soon as new videos are posted. You can also follow me on Facebook, and if you'd like, you can support my work on Patreon. Links to all that stuff can be found in the description below. This is Kephas. Until next time.